So, while this laptop idles, it likes to speed step down to 600 megahertz. It only has one core. The only other thing I have open aside from this resource monitor here, BpyTOP, or is it BpyTOP? If anyone has any clarification on that, please let me know so I don't keep sounding like a fool. I have one terminal window open, and Debian 11 is using 418 megabytes. But I'll log out of root. How many packages do I have? $1,548. That's pretty minimalist, I'd say. How about we, we tried Firefox, we tried YouTube. You can still use the modern internet on this pretty well. How about we use the internet in a slightly more old-fashioned way and use Lynx? Doing web browsing on 12 megabytes on DuckDuckGo. Really hard to jam a bunch of ads into a text-based web browser. And I despise ads. I think they're very invasive. I think I'd sooner quit the internet than go back to an ad-infested one. What about CNET? CNET's one of those websites that I think it's kind of sketchy now. CNET was at one point back in the day. Pretty useful place to get drivers and stuff like that. This says May 2004. I guess that does seem a little more appropriate. Why don't we read? With configurations starting at $1,299, the thin and light ThinkPad T42 is a good value for workers looking to create documents, produce presentations, and send email while on the road. Though the system is not the fastest machine we've seen, it provides plenty of oomph for basic office productivity tasks. More importantly, the T42's battery runs for more than 5.5 hours on a charge. The newer ThinkPad T43 performs slightly better than the ThinkPad T42, but at the expense of 30 minutes of battery life. We think the T42's longer battery life makes it a better choice for business users running typical productivity software. If you intend to run more intensive programs, consider the ThinkPad T43. For a laptop offering the latest in processor technology, the IBM Thinkpad T42 is strikingly modest in its design. It is par for the course for the all-black ThinkPads. We tested the larger model, which has a 15-inch screen and weighs in at 5.7 pounds, 6.5 pounds, with power brick and cord measuring 13 by 10.6 by 1.3 inches. The smaller model has a 14-inch screen and weighs less than 5 pounds, but it is still a good deal bulkier than IBM's new ultralight, the X40. As on all IBM models, the metal hinges connecting the T42's lid to the body are tough as nails and well suited to day-in, day-out business use. The IBM Thinkpad T42's keyboard is broad and comfortable, with plenty of room toward the front rim for your palms. You get a touchpad and a pointing device that nestles in the middle of the keyboard. We also like the simple buttons above the keyboard, including volume controls and an Access IBM button that directs you to support and troubleshooting information. The standard configuration for the IBM Thinkpad T42 includes a smallish 30 gig hard drive and a combo CDRW/DVD drive in the laptop's modular bay. For an extra $150, you can fill the bay with an IBM multi-burner drive that will read and write CDs and DVDs. Optional 6 and 9 cell batteries are also available for the bay. Hard drive upgrades to 60 gig or 80 gig are shamelessly pricey, each costing more than $200. Around the rim, you'll find 2 USB 2.0 ports, a serial port for a mouse, an RJ11 port for the T42's built-in modem, a gigabit Ethernet port, audio in and audio out jacks, 2 card bus slots, a parallel port for a printer, and a VGA port for an external monitor. That covers the basics, but accoutrements such as FireWire and flash media slots are missing. You can add Wi-Fi for between $50 and $100, depending on which wireless adapter you choose. Fortunately, we have wireless with this one. Our IBM Thinkpad T42 came with Windows XP Pro, but IBM supports operating systems dating back to Windows 98 SE, as well as the Red Hat and SUSE Linux distributions. Software for the Thinkpad T42 includes InterVideo WinDVD Creator and Norton Antivirus 2004. The Thinkpad T42 also comes preloaded with IBM's new Rescue and Recovery platform, a secondary operating system that lets you recover data on your hard drive and access the internet even when your primary operating system won't boot. The IBM Thinkpad T42 kept up with both the HP Compact Business Notebook NC6000 and the Winbook W360 on our MobileMark 2002 performance tests. Of the 3 laptops, the T42 battery life held out the longest, lasting a remarkable 5 hours, 40 minutes. The ThinkPad T42 comes with IBM's industry standard service and support package, which includes the company's standard 3-year warranty, it's 1 year for the battery. Alas, short battery warranties are both the industry standard and the Achilles heel of laptop hardware. You can upgrade the 3-year system warranty to include either on-site or depot repair for up to a maximum of 5 years. The reasonably priced on-site repair option starts at $49.95 for 1 year and provides next business day service from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You get 24/7 toll-free technical support during your warranty period. After that, support calls cost $35 per incident. Well, how about that? Let's think of it. I wonder, what happens if we try to run this on the battery? It's kind of risky. I don't know how well off the battery is. It's draining pretty fast. It is running on battery right now. I'd have to say that the T42 still lives up to its review from 2004 because it's still good at sending emails on the go. It's still good at productivity software. Why don't we run, how about LibreOffice Writer? What version of LibreOffice is this running? .4.2 on 1 CPU thread. Very impressive. It's just a word processor, but still So we got that. Let's try Libreoffice Calc. I'm gonna make a budget for Garwood Precision Repair. Got the name, I've got profits, I've got losses, I've got a total. Say it's that one incident. I guess I really don't need a combined 0 for profits and negative 200,000 for losses, and then we'll make that the sum. Very good. Business is booming. Let's make these all cash. Ah, yeah. Well, it's not the best looking budget on paper, but thanks to the T42, I can continue to be productive. Okay, how about you make a pie chart presentation in LibreOffice Impress? I think maybe this one would be a little bit more taxing because it does use more graphics and stuff. Debian talk. All right. Alright. Can I add a pie chart to the next page? Let's see. Wow, 3D objects. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. The more dollar signs you put in the presentation, the more you know it'll impress the boss. That way when they try to sue, they know just who did it. Okay, so we can still run a full range of up-to-date productivity tools, and still browse the modern web, and much more easily and in a more lightweight browse with an old-fashioned text browser. Here'd be something interesting. I wonder. I've been running GIMP on stuff for a long time. And something tells me that running GIMP on something this old would make it have a heart attack. Nevertheless, let's try it. While this is installing, I'd just like to say too, I don't know why people even bother with stuff like Adobe when you can clearly just use Tuxpaint. This is what peak performance looks like. This is the Chad graphics editor. You get sounds with everything. This is quite literally the best. This is the best image tool. You got DuckDuckGo. Seriously, why would you need anything else? Why? Peak performance. Alright, let's try to run GIMP. Really curious to see how this runs. My main rig has a GTX 1660 in it, which by all accounts, you know, nowadays really isn't that much to write home about. But I'm happy. Namely because I don't get delay when I use a drawing tablet anymore. Before I'd have to use like really lightweight stuff, or I wouldn't be able to use anything at all. How about we try a 1000 by 800 image let's go back into BpyTOP or BpyTOP, or however it's pronounced. GIMP is using 125 megabytes of RAM. I think we could probably push that a lot more. Still not doing too bad. Wonder how much of this we can select without it. I figured that would happen. Okay. This is again for the sake of business productivity. Let's see how well erasing works. Actually, not that bad. Not a whole lot of delays. Gonna make the eraser have 100 hardness. Gonna go for anything extremely professional. This is supposed to be a tech support channel, but I think it's gradually just kind of devolving into like a budget art class. I'm not really like the art teacher, I'm more like the student, and like you're the teacher. So why don't we just work on working Clippy's legs out of the disruptive background and chop him into something better. Okay. Oh boy. Oh. Sorry, Clippy. Didn't mean to clip you like that. So next we'll get rid of this entirely. Rather pleased so far. There's a brand new version of GIMP. The CPU is running pretty healthy. Only using 700 something megabytes of RAM. And that's with Firefox open with 2 tabs. Okay, it's not the prettiest, but it's still beautiful. And that's what counts. If modern art is art, then this is like super art. I want $5 million in cash. For every stroke. Alright. So we got our first, it's our final layer. Yeah. Oh, they got him good. Alright. How will Blom ever recover? Now we're getting more into the full swing of a modern computer. We have YouTube and GIMP open. And let's see. I'm going to take a screenshot out of some random gameplay footage. I'm going to get picky and use the Dreamcast version. Because if it's Sonic and it's not running on Sega hardware, that's basically treason. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, let's take it a step further. Got a resource manager. We've got YouTube open. We've got GIMP open still. We finally cracked a gig of RAM. How about open up a second image manipulator tool? Kolourpaint will do fine. Seems to be the closest to Linux's version of MS Paint. People knock MS Paint, but hey, MS Paint is fine software. Oh yeah, wow, that's like Windows 95 Paint. I haven't seen that in forever. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna get this. Let's paste it into GIMP as a second layer. You might think, hey, yeah, it's only a 1000 by 800 pixel resolution image, and you're copying something that's probably very low resolution. It's like 240p, 144p. Who cares? Let's scale it really big. You know what they say, go big or go home. So we're gonna get Sonic, the rocket Sonic's riding on. For scientific reasons. Let's scale. All right. Let's clean this guy up a little bit more. Yeah, people hate Clippy. They were really mean to him, but I ever think maybe he was like stuck. That he was just like a sleeper agent for a big company. I'm not naming any names, but maybe he was just a sleeper agent for a big company. And you'd start a petition on change.org. Free Clippy. Still idling pretty good. I want to make Clippy Hook evil. The internet's already done that. Really, really bullish. He bought some Microsoft stock in like 2012. This is not a real website. Don't go to this website. Something tells me whatever's on the other side of that, the other side of the moon, it's gotta be a scary place. Clippard. We'll name him Clippard. I'm gonna keep GIMP open. Still have YouTube open. Still have Kolourpaint open. And we still have quite a bit of memory free. Last but not least, why don't I get a nice wallpaper? See if it is clippard.xcf. Oh, it looks pretty tasteful if you ask me. That is a tasteful looking picture. Well, all in all, I'd say the T42 holds up pretty well. Yeah, I was trying one last thing.
So that's Beerus the Destroyer, huh? He definitely looks strong, but it's weird, I can't sense any energy.
It's been quite a long time, hasn't it, Northkai?
What? That's Beerus? Yeah.
27 Universal Standard Years.
Oh, I was counting the exact month and day, Lord.
You know, I'd forgotten just how tiny this planet is now.
So that's Beerus the Destroyer, huh? He definitely looks strong, but it's weird, I can't sense any energy.
It's been quite a long time, hasn't it, Northkai?
What? That's Beerus?
320...
You know, this is the one thing. I tried to download just this random clip of Dragon Ball Z off YouTube because, it was in a pretty high resolution and everything. I wanted to see how it would play back on something like this. And it's definitely struggled. It's struggling with this more than it struggled with basically anything else. I'm pretty sure with the right encoder or encoding, with the right encoding, that video would play back fine. That's probably one of the last challenges for this. Otherwise, aside from VLC, MPV works on this too. MPV supports a 32-bit build, but just about everything I tried was not running that good. I'm going to try one more thing. Let's keep consistent with the times. I'm not even going to try and load the video on YouTube. I'm going to close out of Firefox. Let's try to watch the Hotel Mario video with MPV. Amazing.
Nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? I hope you made lots of spaghetti. Luigi, look! It's from Bowser. Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I have taken over the Mushroom Kingdom. The princess is now a permanent guest at one of my 7 Koopa hotels. I dare you to find her if you can. We gotta find the princess. If you need instructions on how to get through the hotel, check out the enclosed instruction book. Looks kind of peaceful. Looks like a scene when Koopas are involved.
Well, if I were to say so, I'd say the T42 does a pretty good job of holding up as a modern computer. At least in the sense that it can run up-to-date software and do a lot of multitasking. Basically everything I've thrown at it, some things it struggled, but again, this computer is almost 18 years old. It's almost old enough to start getting utilities in its name.